The fact that money might actually be the best medicine is a weird sciencey fact that boggles my mind. Healthcare costs money, a lot of it, especially when you gotta give half the money you spend on it to insurance companies who never learned their lesson from Luigi. Medical research costs money as well, or it used to before we just completely stopped funding it so we could give billionaires more tax breaks. So it's easy to say that money is the best medicine because without it, we don't have any medicine. That's a little abstract or hyperbolic, right? Obviously, it's not the money that's making you healthy, it's the money that the research is funding and the healthcare that it's buying that is making you healthy. However, money may be the best medicine in a literal sense. Like, just having money makes you healthier. And I'm not talking about a lot of money, just a living wage. It's kind of like that South Park episode where Magic Johnson just like keeps money all around him and puts it in blenders and like drinks it, and that's how he doesn't die from AIDS. There's a deep cut for the 3 people who remember that episode. Now, that was obviously a joke. Do not put cash in a blender and drink it, and sleeping with your money will probably not improve your overall health. In fact, cash money itself is very dirty, so it'll probably make it worse in reality. To have that number just a little higher in your bank account or even under the bed after all the bills are paid does actually make you healthier. There's been a lot of talk for a lot of years now about increasing the minimum wage. I was a senior in high school the last time the minimum wage was raised, which is damn near 15. Holy shit, I've gotten old. Point is, we've been talking about it for a while, and the conversation always centers around food and shelter. As it should be. Everybody should be able to pay for their rent and groceries from the job that they work, no matter what that job is. We talk about a living wage, and that encompasses a lot of things, you know, childcare, healthcare, transportation, food, shelter, and a little leisure time. You know, poor people deserve a vacation or to go to the movies once in a while too. But what we don't talk about nearly enough is that it is scientifically proven that a living wage makes you live longer. Paying people more will make healthcare costs go down and productivity go up because people will get sick less. And it's not even because they're spending that money on healthcare. And this isn't even new information. There are hundreds of studies on this spanning decades. An increase in annual income of $10,000 a year can increase life expectancy by 2 to 3 years. For a person working full-time for minimum wage, that would only bring them up to $25,000 a year. That's a big increase in life expectancy for not a lot of money. A study done in 2001 in San Francisco showed that increasing the minimum wage there could decrease premature death by 5%. People who make a living wage have lower rates of smoking and excessive drinking. They're less likely to have chronic illnesses, less likely to suffer from mental health issues. People making a living wage have healthier children. We got all these dumb motherfuckers freaking out because a heroin addict with a brain worm told them that Tylenol will give their kids autism. Meanwhile, kids born into impoverished families are documented to be 40% more likely to get asthma. Infant mortality rates double in high poverty areas. So if you're pro-life, you need to be preaching to pay people more. Making more money means you're less likely to have a heart attack or stroke. You have better digestion, fewer skin problems. You get better sleep, have less muscle and joint pain, have lower blood sugar and cholesterol. Making more money improves every single aspect of health on average. And it saves us money because, once again, we spend a lot of money on healthcare. So making people healthier is a good economic decision. Because less people needing healthcare brings your healthcare costs down. But how? How does having more money make you more healthy? What are the therapeutic properties of cash? Well, there's a lot. First and foremost is stress. Stress wreaks havoc on your health, and always having to worry about if you're going to pay rent or buy groceries or how you're going to fix your car to get to work tomorrow is really fucking stressful. Chronic poverty almost always means chronic stress, and chronic stress means chronic health problems. And stress hurts your health in other ways. It causes anxiety and depression, and people, to deal with depression and anxiety, often turn to drugs, drinking, and cigarettes. Those things are, unhealthy. Less stress, less smokers, drinkers, and drug users, because there's less of an edge that you need to take off. And then food. When you're poor, so is your diet, because cheap processed food is what you can afford. Poor diet caused by poverty leads to bad health and higher rates of obesity. Then there's the environment that you live in. Poor people live where they can afford, and often where they can afford are not the most healthy places. Cheap housing usually doesn't exist where people who make a living wage want to live. Usually they don't want to live in those places because those places are close to things that are environmentally hazardous. And the people who can afford to live there don't have the resources to leave or fight the people who are making the area environmentally hazardous clean it the fuck up. They also don't have the property tax base to update infrastructure, from say lead pipes, to clean the asbestos out of the places that they live and work, or paint over the old lead paint. And then obviously, healthcare is a part of it. If you're feeling sick and going bankrupt isn't a concern to go figure out why you're sick, you're more likely to go figure out why you're sick and fix it before it kills you or makes you chronically sick for the rest of your life. You're more likely to get preventative care and checkups. You're more likely to bring your kids in for those things so they can afford it, which makes them less likely to be less healthy over the course of their lives. I think you get the point, is that money is a miracle drug, and you don't need a lot of it. You need just enough. But because billionaires and greedy corporations want way too much, millions of people don't have anywhere near enough. And an unlivable wage with an out-of-control cost of living, also we can give billionaires another tax break, is causing a national health crisis. But a lot of people and organizations and PACs are fighting to make changes on this, like one fair wage and the affordability PAC. And I was honored and humbled to be flown out on a moment's notice. And when I say moment's notice, they booked my tickets Wednesday morning for a Thursday dinner in New York City, which is, you know, not where I live, to help cover one of their events where they are fundraising and raising awareness for this very issue. And it was inspiring to see that we are not alone in this fight to make a living wage available for everyone. So guys, please go check them out and help them and help us make a healthier, happier country. And look for the content that I'll be putting out from that event, because it was super cool if you haven't caught some of it already. And the fact that the moolah medicine from making a little more money could be a medical miracle for millions of Americans, well, that is pretty mind-boggling.